Pump it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Oh, come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make the thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a Thank-Filled Thursday. Now, y'all know I got these themes of the day, and sometimes it fits and sometimes it just don't. But I'm so wired that way that I want to make it a Thank-Filled Thursday. But I'm definitely always thankful for my guest who's in the building. And today we got Reginald Smith Jr. in the building, y'all. He is playing the Pirate King at Seattle Opera's Pirates of Penzance. So I'm so excited to have him here to talk about not only his career as a classical vocalist and, you know, how he's bringing that to opera stages all over the place. So I'm so excited that he's here to talk about his role in Pirates of Penzance. But y'all know I love good, you know, live performance. So I might geek out a bit, but I want to start with that gratitude. And I'm also thankful for you because you're joining us. And you know this is the top of the show. It's the best time for you to tag and share this show right here with folks who you feel could be benefiting from our daily dose of dopeness we give you here on the Day with Trae. As always, if you cannot watch our highly produced streaming series, don't worry. We got you covered because you can always listen to us as well anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find us there. Okay, so before I get into it with Sir Reginald here, okay, I want to say something because, you know, when we think about what it means to be a contributor to our community, we could talk about it in a lot of different ways. You know, yesterday we had an amazing guest on, Bobby, who was showing us Luna Park shoes. And sometimes you're like, oh, okay, I can support by being a patron, right? Like I can be at a business and I can patron. There's other ways that you can also contribute to being in community. And I talk about the power of live performance almost every time I have someone who is on the show that is representing a show you can go see. But oftentimes we don't talk about the people that make that happen. There's so many staff members behind the scenes that are working diligently to make sure that I stay plugged in with amazing shows they have going on and that you, the broader community, knows about these shows that are going on. So one of the things I want to encourage you to do is start signing up for newsletters. I mean, there is some incredible work that's happening that you get to learn about just through signing up and getting an email in your inbox that tells you everything you need to know about an upcoming show, how to pay for your parking beforehand, how to be ready to go and support live performance. And all of the amazing venues do this, right? Because they're trying to find ways to stay engaged and connect with you. And whether you're following them on social media platforms or you're receiving a newsletter, you're getting the information. So I just want to encourage us when we think about how we contribute and how we learn about the great things going on, follow these amazing venues, follow these spaces. There are staff people behind the scenes that are pulling all that information together so that you can be informed. So I'm encouraging you to do your part by subscribing, by following, by liking content, and then sharing it, right? Sharing it with others. Like I'm always asking y'all to do here on the Day with Trae, like share our show because y'all are helping us grow organically. We're direct to consumer. So I don't have a bunch of TV ads and billboards. One day, y'all, it's coming. Wow, I promise you it's coming. But right now, this word of mouth marketing is how we grow. You know, we are committed to having a platform for community members to share their brilliance, their inspiration, and their stories. And that can come in the forms of all kinds of folks, as you see right here on this show. But when we do our part by following, subscribing, by staying informed and sharing that information, now we're getting into the zhuzh of being in community. So I talk about it all the time, but there's something that I felt was missing from that conversation. And those are some of the simple actions that you can be doing out there to be engaged in your community. So I'm encouraging you to do that today. Well, up next after this break, we got Reginald Smith Jr. in the building. We're going to be talking all things his career as a classical vocalist and opera singer, and also his role in Pirates of Penzance. You don't want to miss this. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
We're electric. I feel like the fans can feel that, and we're just going to keep this going.
He struck him out. Gino, like he never left Seattle.
Keep bringing the energy. We really need it. Let's go.
Got him at home. Goodbye, baseball. Cal did it.
We show a lot of heart. This team has a lot of fight. You guys have been electric. You guys are the key to this, so thank you guys.
In Seattle, it's more than just coffee. It's community. At the station, we brew more than just your favorite cup. We brew connection. From Beacon Hill to Columbia City, we're a space for artists, activists, and everyone in between. A place to gather, create, and simply be. Whether you need a quiet place to work, a lively spot to meet friends, or just a moment to unwind, find your place at the station. More than coffee, it's home. Visit us in Beacon Hill or Columbia City. The Station, where community happens.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now, we got Reggie in the building. What's up?
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thanks for having me today.
Yeah, you know, this is exciting because it's been a minute since I've tapped in with Seattle Opera and, you know, Pirates of Penzance. We're going to get into that, but I got to talk about your beginnings. You know, every time I have a classical vocalist, I love how you define that. But every time I do have someone like this, there's like a wide range of ways that you find yourself as a classical vocalist. So tell us about your beginnings.
So I'm from Atlanta originally, and I was born and raised there. And I come from a musical family, particularly on my mother's side. My mother played the clarinet from elementary all the way through college, was in the university choir. My mother did a lot of background singing and singing with different gospel groups and things. And so I grew up being surrounded by music, going to concerts and a variety of things, whether it was concerts at the AU Center with Morehouse and Spelman and Clark and Morris Brown, or different quartets and hearing the gospel singers. Like I think about like Albertina Walker, of course, who was in the Caravans. And I saw Albertina Walker so many times because it was just what we did. We went to all sorts of concerts. So I grew up singing. I immediately sort of gravitated to school choir. And actually, I joined the choir in the second grade, which was a year earlier than what you were supposed to. And I had a solo in front of the whole school in the spiritual Do Lord Remember Me. I remember people said, "Oh, are you nervous?" And I thought, nah, it's just like singing at church.
Yeah.
And so I gravitated towards more of the classical choral music, and I did that all the way through middle school and high school, and I went to a performing arts high school, and there, as a vocal major, one of the things we would do is we would go to the operas. And I was familiar with musical theater and jazz and all of those things, but I'd never seen an opera, unamplified voices in a theater, over the orchestra, big sets, and talk about representation being important. We went to see the opera Tosca, which they did here last season at Seattle Opera, and the baritone was Donnie Ray Albert, who is a black baritone who's still living and still singing. He's 75. He's currently singing in the production in Houston while teaching at the university. But seeing and hearing him on stage was mind-blowing, and it changed everything for me. I remember thinking, I don't know who this is, but I need to learn everything about him. And I bought his CD, and I went to my teacher, and I said, I want to sing like this. I want to do what he's doing. And so that was sort of how I really started on my vocal journey in terms of voice lessons and being more serious about solo singing in the classical world. But interestingly enough, I always wanted to be a teacher. And when in high school, I decided that I was going to teach music. So when I went to the University of Kentucky, I went to teach music education and for vocal performance. And so fortunately, there are always schools and there are always kids. And so maybe one day I'll go back into the classroom. But no, that's how I sort of started on my journey to being a classical vocalist, being an opera singer.
Wow.
Was really through that school performance.
Wow. You know, I love this connection of representation mattering in such a profound way for you,
Yeah.
right? Like that's huge. And now you're contributing to that for others in
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
these audiences that get to see you. Tell us about how you've taken your talent to stages all over. Just give us an example of your amazing repertoire.
Well, it's really exciting because I have been blessed and fortunate to travel all over the world, in many different places in Russia, in Latvia, in Spain, and France, and Hong Kong, and Australia, New Zealand, Canada, all throughout the United States, the Bahamas, which is very cool, being able to sing in the Bahamas. Yeah, so I've been blessed and fortunate to sing professionally my entire adult life. It's my only job. It's the only job I've had is as a professional singer, and to be able to do it all over the world.
Wow.
I've performed for President Obama. I've performed, the Queen was there. We were singing in the Windsor Castle. She was over in the corner. I saw her, back across the way. I performed for and toured with Muhammad Ali before he passed away. I've been blessed enough to sing at the big houses in America, the Metropolitan Opera, Houston Grand Opera, Washington National Opera, the Kennedy Center, San Francisco, Lyric Opera of Chicago. Always exciting when I get to perform at home in Atlanta with the Atlanta Symphony, the Atlanta Opera, and Houston, which is where I live because I can drive to my own home and sleep in my own bed. I know some other cool things. I do a lot of concert things, as I mentioned, more of a classical vocalist as opposed to just strictly opera. So one of the cool things is I do a lot of holiday pops singing, like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, easy peasy. But with the Dallas Symphony, we recorded one of the holiday pops concerts, and it won an Emmy for a special presentation of, so it's pretty cool. Won an Emmy for that. I have a Grammy from singing on the Met Opera recording of Porgy and Bess. And so, I've done some pretty cool things. And I'm pretty grateful for it.
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, the reason why I had to go there is because I really want the audience to understand the work that Seattle Opera does to bring talent like you, or Reginald Smith Jr., to the Seattle Opera. That is huge for us up here in the Pacific Northwest, as you brought your talent to stages all across the world. Tell us how you're feeling about working with the folks in this production for Pirates of Penzance right here at Seattle Opera.
Well, what's really funny is I did Pirates of Penzance in undergrad.
Oh, wow.
And it was a part of the undergraduate opera, and I thought, well, that was fun. I'll never do this show again, put it on the shelf. And so when Seattle Opera called and said, we'd really be interested, if you'd come up for Pirates of Penzance, I thought, really? Pirates of Penzance? And so I had to go and find the score. I was like, I know this music is around the house somewhere. So that was fun to come back to a score almost 20 years later, see if I still remember all the words. But this cast is really a spectacular cast. And, oftentimes we don't get to see who's in the show until a company produces the season announcement. And when I saw that, the David Portillo and Vanessa Becerra and Tommy Glass and Nate Stark, I was like, man, Kathy Gelb. I was like, they stocked the cast list on this. And this production is so much fun. It's bright, it's happy, it's funny. There's lots of dancing. It's in English. So if you say, I don't go to the opera because I don't understand the words, it's in English. You'll be fine. Wow. But I'm very glad to be working on something fun, bright, and happy, especially in the times that we're living in now. I think we all could benefit from having some joy and happiness in our lives. And so it's been really refreshing, and I'm glad to have me here in the Pacific Northwest.
Wow. Well, this is huge because there is something really special about the shows that come through the opera, and the Seattle Opera knows, like, I've become a huge fan of opera, and I like regret when I miss a show because I'm like, because I know, I'm like, when will I come back around, right? It might take some time, but I've really become such a huge fan of the art form, because for me it's like another version of storytelling in a way that I wasn't exposed to as a young person. Mm-hmm. And so I grew up in theater and musical theater and things of that nature, so I was really familiar with that. And to see not only the costumes and the set design, I mean, the way that the stories are brought to life is phenomenal. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Pirates of Penzance. Of course, I got to ask you about maybe one of your favorite moments of the show that you're, looking forward to bringing out for the audience.
Well, I like to joke and tell people that I'm a well-rounded opera singer, referring to my, of course, voluptuousness. And with that in mind, people often think that big people don't move. But let me tell you, there's a lot of choreography in this show, and I'm having a blast dancing around the stage and acting a whole fool. Like, you see me and I'm just like cackling and like, like having a ball. And it's really fun. Which I think that's the thing that like really attracts people to it, is that you see us really just having a ball, dancing and singing with each other, and that energy becomes really magnetic, and it draws you in, and it creates this wonderful atmosphere. So there's several choreography moments that you see me like really kick it into high gear to prove to people that a well-rounded singer can also move well.
I know that's right. Let us know what it is. Right. I'm here for it. So this is exciting. I mean, this is a fun-loving show. This is one of those uplifting shows. I think a lot of people think of opera and they think very serious, tragic story, right? I mean, that is, I think a lot of folks who maybe haven't gone, but that's like the first thing they think is like tragic love story, right?
Yeah,
like somebody's got to die in order for this to be a thing. So I'm loving that you're having such a good time and that we're going to experience it too.
It's funny you say that, because throughout my career, I've been fortunate enough to play a lot of bad guys. People know often I say that I play bad guys, villains, and fathers. Like that's my go-to, right? Those are the roles that I sing. Give me a knife and tell me to like stab somebody on stage. I'm all about it. And so to be able to play comedic repertoire, it's for some people, they're like, you can do funny things? And I'm like, well, if I'm not having to stab somebody on stage, I could be pretty funny. I mean, you can be funny stabbing them too, but that's a different story. But I as much as I enjoy my villains and bad guys, it's nice to do something light and friendly every now and then. So it's a fun departure from the typical dramatic rep. But again, it's nice to keep it light and bright. We'll get to some of the stabby, dramatic stuff later on in the season. It's coming, you know.
Well, this is amazing, and I'm so glad you were here to give us your perspective on the show. Of course, folks can go to Seattle Opera's website, get your tickets. It has a few weeks of a run, but I want you to be able to make sure folks know how to continue to follow you as you take on these characters, bringing them to life around stages around the world. Look right there. Let them know how they stay following you.
Well, you can always follow me on my Facebook page, which is Reginald Smith Jr., baritone. You can follow me on Instagram, which is Reggie Sings. You can follow me on TikTok, which is Reggie Sings Opera. And also, if you do follow me on Instagram, and so you'll realize that I also love to cook, and I cook all the time. So my Instagram is me singing, me cooking, and then doing silly things with my friends. So I hope you enjoyed. Please follow me. It's a lot of fun, at least I think so. And maybe you'll pick up a cool recipe in the process.
There we go. Yes, Reggie, thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you on stage.
Oh, thank you. I hope to see you there.
Wow. Y'all, this is incredible. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, here we are needing this infectious joy, right, in our community. And I'm going to tell you to make sure you get your tickets so you can experience it right there at Seattle Opera. I'll wrap all this up right after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Let's start the show.
Hello, welcome to Elite Insights with Carlos Humani. We're looking to offer an in-depth look at event production industry through the lens of client experiences and joint successes. The podcast will emphasize guest interviews, focusing on client discussing their fields and reflecting on their collaboration with Elite Collective. Again, you're with Elite Insights. Carlos Humani here. See you guys in a few.
What is a bestie?
I like you.
She's fun.
It's about to be a good time.
She's always looking out for you.
Since you're my bestie, I will handle it for you.
She makes you think.
Here to uplift and empower.
She's always encouraging.
You are that girl.
Chelsea Edwards, your bestie in daytime.
Like it's a spiritual moment.
Chatting with Chelsea. New episodes weekdays at 5:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Huge shout out to Reginald Smith Jr. playing the Pirate King in Pirates of Penzance right there at Seattle Opera. Make sure you go to seattleopera.org. Get your tickets today. I am looking forward to seeing this show, but also the one thing I love about having performers and actors, actresses, singers, opera, like all of these amazing performers here is that you get to learn a bit about them oftentimes before you even get to go see the show. So now you should be even more intrigued. We have somebody who usually plays the villain playing this amazing comedic pirate king in Pirates of Penzance. Now you know you're intrigued to get your tickets and go see him on this stage. But also Seattle Opera does such a great job of bringing amazing talent to us right here in the Pacific Northwest. Let's support them by going to this show and having a good time. I agree with Reggie 100%. We need to be laughing, and there's nothing better than collective laughter. So be inspired to get your tickets today. You know, have a good time, laugh with some friends, make it a night out, you know, patron an amazing restaurant as well. I'm just telling y'all, make it a date night, right? Bring your boo thing, have a great time. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the show, and I hope to see you there. Well, I'll be wrapping the week up with y'all tomorrow, and you know, I'm excited to be with y'all on that amazing Friday. So until then, at 11 a.m., y'all, peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.